Before.
Okay, hello. So thank you, Rocio, for
welcome.
meeting with me and giving me this interview. It's fantastic. So you're the brand owner of Wearyourwaste.
Exactly.
So could you just tell me a little bit about your brand and how it all began?
Okay. Well, actually, Wearyourwaste is a bit of a call for action, and I have to say that the name was inspired by a trip to Berlin, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I came to Berlin once in 2013, I think it was, and I was already thinking how I would like to do something regarding the environment. And I found Berlin all decorated with posters that read, "Own your impact," and "Fuck the planet," everywhere. And I thought, how cool! Up to this point, it's not only about not wasting anymore, not polluting. We've got to take care of the waste that has already been produced, of the damage we've already made. So that's when I decided I wanted to do something with recycled products.
Right.
I wanted, in the ethical industry, I wanted to work with the recycled, upcycled products. And because I am very close to the ocean, I live by the ocean, and I play a lot and I enjoy a lot the ocean, I knew that I wanted to do something about that. And bikinis, I know, it's something that I use a lot, and so that's where the whole thing started.
So you're recycling fishing nets?
Fishing net.
Yeah,
exactly.
how does that work? How does that actually...
Well, these ghost nets, as they're called, abandoned fishing nets, there is a company that makes the yarn called Ethicologist.
Oh,
This company pays the fishermen to come back with the broken fishing nets that they don't need anymore. Hence, they create a business for them, and they avoid the fishermen just dropping them at sea, which is what's happening regularly.
Right.
So then they get all these fishing nets, and they have a process in which they make it a pulp.
Yeah.
And from that pulp, they spin it and weave it and make a yarn, which is a nylon yarn.
Yeah.
And that is what we call the Ethicologist.
Yeah.
Then with Ethicologist, you can weave it. That's another factory. So 3 factories, in my case, the 3 of them located in Italy, take part in the process. The second factory is the one that weaves the fabric.
Yeah.
And then there's a 3rd factory who actually stitches up the bikinis.
Right.
So 78% of the bikinis, the fabric is made part of polyamide, part of elastane, which is what makes the bikini elastic and pleasing.
Yeah.
The polyamide part is the recycled fishing net one, which is 78%.
Right.
And then 22% must be the elastane to make it elastic, and in my case I choose Lycra Extra Life.
Yeah.
Because it's the highest quality elastane in the market, and I was really looking for durability.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on one side I want to offer a product that is cleaning the ocean and it's actually repurposing waste, but also I want to make sure that this product is going to last for years.
Right.
That you're not going to need to change every season, and that's why I chose for the highest end, and it's got a great result. It's a bikini that doesn't fade at all, doesn't pile. You can move around as much as you want. It won't move, but still won't dig your skin. It's perfect fit. It's resistant to chlorine and salt water, oil creams. And so it's very, very good product.
From fishing nets.
So that's created from fishing nets. Yeah.
So you were saying that earlier you had an online shop.
I have an online shop.
And you have customers just coming to you, other retailers coming to you. How did that happen?
Well, I thought it up as an online store, and I realized that people really needed to touch because of the nature of the fabric, recycled. They were not sure, like, is it going to be hard and rough to the touch? Or some people even asked, is it going to smell of fish?
Right, yeah.
And it's because there is not much awareness about the whole thing, which is great because it gives you the opportunity to explain, and people are really surprised at how technology is really shaping this industry. I think it's science is really pushing the whole ethical fashion thing with all these new fibers and new ideas. And I got some stores, physical retailers, that were contacting me because they wanted swimwear and they thought that it was nice. They had found me in social or Googling up, and I thought, maybe it's what I need to do, is just go to physical retailers so people can actually touch and feel. And I'm getting more business now from physical retailers than online.
Wow, that's really interesting.
It's still, it's a new brand. It's not a crazy business, but it's growing on slowly, and which is a sustainable way of growth, and I like it. So.
Yeah. And when it comes to recycling fabrics and creating new yarns, is there some kind of accreditation that you have, to say that it's been done correctly and it's been done environmentally?
Yeah, the companies that do both the one that does the yarn and which is Ethicologist.
You must go. We must.
I have to collect the fabrics.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Party's over.
Party's over.
Sorry to hear that. For me, I've got my glass of wine.
We can sit on the
I can
wall.
sit on the ledge. If
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah. See, they're taking. I'm amazed that they're still serving wine though. That's really good.
That will just. Anyway, that's me.
They're gonna have to carry her out. I guess they do have to pack up, so it's understandable. But they could do that last, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry, where were we? We're talking about
that's the certifications. Yeah. You're asking. The companies, both the one that does the yarn, the Ethicologist, and the one that does the fabric, they have all these certifications, and because I buy the product from them, both the yarn, and so I get all their labels with their certifications. I don't need to get one myself because I am not the one weaving the fabric.
So you come under them. And,
exactly.
Exactly. And is that information on your website? Because I think from our research, what we're seeing is that a lot of consumers, they want to become ethical consumers, but they're really not that aware. They're not aware of the issues. They're not very confident about how it's all produced. Can they really trust the producers? Is it greenwashing or is it marketing?
Well, we are very transparent in our website. We really we have a tag for the fabrics just to explain what fabrics are and who are involved. We talk about Ethicologist and we talk about the factory that does the fabric. We use their assets, like their videos explaining how the yarn is done and how the fabric is done too.
That's on your website.
We post it on our website so people can click and and get familiar with it. We also say that we are not 100% recycled. I mean, the elastane is not recycled. It's we praise every single step that anyone can make, and we of course are always looking at a more sustainable way to do our products. But there's a certain mentality of it's all or nothing in a sustainable industry that I think is the first thing we need to fight. And we need to make people comfortable with any little step that they take. Also the consumer, because sometimes the consumer says, okay, but if I can't wear all ethical and maybe people are going to tell me I'm greenwashing. No. You can wear a Zara skirt. If you're wearing a Zara skirt with an ethical top, good for you. I praise you for that, and and I love it, and it should be that way. We should make it.
It's one step at a time, isn't it? And it's really getting a belief and a set of values, which takes a while, doesn't it, for us to learn more.
It takes a while, and they need to come slowly, and also affordability is a big issue. We must all agree that sustainable clothing is a bit overpriced. That's another front that I'm working a lot with my bikinis. I'm fighting a lot. I really reduce margins because I think we expect too much from the consumer, and if a consumer wants a total outfit in sustainable clothing, it's going to be a lot of money. Sometimes you can only afford the top or the bottom or one shoe, but you can't afford it all. And we can't make him feel bad because something is not sustainable, because we have to be aware that it's a bit overpriced. I try to really cut the margins, and I explain that to my shops. Like, I've cut it from the factory to me, from me to the shop, and from the shop to the consumer, because it can't only be let's ask the consumer to pay more, and let's ask the brand to earn less. But in the middle, everybody wants to earn the same. I think it has to be, everybody has to.
And this is coming from a PR person.
I know.
So you are a PR person. So that is very interesting, because I think that is the problem that the fashion industry has. That actually, when you look at the percentage of where the profits are going, it's pretty much the senior executive marketing director type people who are earning the big bucks. And the people who are actually producing the item are right at the bottom.
Exactly. That's what happens. And then you expect we talk a lot about we have to change the consumer's mentality. Well, maybe we have to look into the industry and change everybody's mentality. Maybe you can't have that big bonus at the end of the year, you know? And maybe you can't have a markup of 2.8 anymore. You know, maybe everybody needs to do a little bit to come together to this mentality, and I think that's a conversation that needs to start.
And in terms of, you know, I mean, you're quite new brand, so you're growing quite successfully. You feel like you're making contacts, and you know it's going forward. But do you kind of see any obstacles that you've mentioned one in terms of changing attitudes, but any obstacles that you personally as a brand have to overcome that you know you need help with, or maybe services or that are missing, or support that's missing for your kind of...
Well, I come from Spain, and we invented fast fashion there.
Really?
So the mentality for me is the biggest obstacle in my country. And then of course, because there's no mentality, many official organisms won't find the need to create any support, because it's not a demand of people. If people were demanding more sustainable brands out there, maybe we would find more things. Still, there are some things happening. I'm not going to knock it all. There are some support programs for sustainable brands to come to trade shows like these, or to have courses on marketing, how to market yourself. So it's not all bad, but it's timid, it's shy yet. I think it's because the general mentality is not there. And I suppose, I don't know, they just try to look at what people demand and work on that. But I do see things changing fast. I think it's going faster than I thought it would. I truly believe this is an emerging market, unfortunately, because of the environment. Things are happening that can't be undone, and I think it's more visible every day, and that is creating the awareness. I think soon it's going to be unsustainable, and people are going to have to pay a little bit more, because it's going to have to be produced in a different way.
Do you think the government should do more, or what should the government do to encourage ethics in business and consumer awareness? Is that something that's happening for you, do you think, or...
I think it's not happening enough. I see some, like I said, some shy attempts, but for example, to me, governments should, for example, really boost local production and try to... There are countries like Spain, for example, who were big in textile manufacturing, shoe manufacturing, were leaders in the world for that. And that was all gone because of construction and the construction boom and all bubble. And I don't think they work hard enough to promote this kind of industry again. And that is sustainability. Doing things locally, close to you, and knowing the people that make it, that are fairly paid, not shipping from long distances without the carbon footprint. All that is part of sustainable industry. And I think they could promote that more.
And I think also what we're seeing from our research is that, you say that if there's demand, that this industry would grow, but we're seeing from the market research that we've carried out that there is a demand, but people really don't know what to do with that demand. So we asked them a question, have you ever taken any action as a result of seeing any unethical practices in fashion brands? And 25% of the population said yes, they have taken some action, but the action they've taken was actually just to boycott that brand. And it's interesting because that's their immediate reaction, but we don't know for how long they would boycott. And boycotting one brand, then does it just go and do you just go and spend at another brand that might be just as bad, but actually they just haven't been exposed yet? Now, so what I'm seeing is that there is a demand, but actually the consumers are not very aware of the ethical fashion that's already available. The labels that are around. It seems to be that if you are doing your own research and you spend a lot of time researching, you can come across them. But if you're somebody who just, you know, has a busy life, big family,
No, they're not out there.
They don't really know how to.
No.
So what would you say is a step for brands like yourself to take to sort of come into the very obvious spotlight, you know, to be seen?
What we need is obviously the media. The media should help a lot raising awareness about this sustainable. And now, this year especially, I've seen a boost in talking about ethical brands. I mean mainstream media. Fashion, I'm talking about all these fashion magazines and lifestyle magazines and bloggers, and it's still very niche. It's still very niche, and I think as a media platform and you have a civil responsibility, I think it would be nice if they got involved. Like they have sections talking just about sustainable fashion, about ethical fashion, like fixed, like regular sections talking about that. So people would get familiar with the whole concept and feature brands, and because honestly, most of these ethical brands, I was talking to a lot of them. Most of us are here for what, 2, 3, 5 years.
Yes.
You know, it's quite new, and I don't think many can afford, I don't know, an advertising page in Glamour, for example.
No,
That's impossible.
That's right.
So I think,
Vogue,
so I think that's something I would like to see in the mainstream media. You know?
Because what we're also seeing from our research is that the profile of the typical ethical fashion consumer is actually 25 to 45-year-old woman with a certain sort of, certain level of income, a fairly high level of income, a certain level of education. So it's very much sort of like a middle class sort of professional sort of woman that has some life experience and have gained some values, I guess, in life. Maybe they've had children, and that's added to
concern
that
for the future.
But with your brand, it's interesting. A swimwear brand. Now that is a brand that could perhaps reach the younger generation, the sporty 20-year-old.
My stats say that it's 25 to 45, exactly what you said. I mean, social stats and all that are more into my brand. But what I try to do, which is another aspect that I thought was missing, is you've got to appeal to women who have a concern about nature and environment, want to be there, but they don't want to give up on style in the process. I don't want to be conservative dressing. If I'm not like that, it's not me, just because I want to wear sustainable. I want to have options. And that is what I was looking for. That's why the prints also, the fact that I don't use off-the-shelf prints, but the prints that I feature in my bikinis, they are exclusive artwork commissioned from artists just for us.
Okay.
Yeah, so
they're quite unique.
We work as an artist collective, and we promote the artist on website and with hang tags on every bikini, so you can check them out. But for us, this has two benefits. One is that it is quite a unique piece, something you don't see everywhere. I think a woman likes to feel like she's wearing something special, and also, because it's art, it won't go out of fashion. So if you like that piece of art, you're going to like it today, and you're going to like it in 10 years, because it fits to you. And that will help to elongate the life of the bikini, which is what we're aiming for here. So I didn't make seasonal collections, like this summer and next summer another one. If I see an artist that I like and he wants to do something for me, I make a capsule collection for him, and that's going to stay there forever until it runs out, until it's out of stock. And no sales, no anything. It's just going to be a valid piece now, and in 2 years if it's still there. And
what do you think about reaching out to the younger generation? Do you think that that's something the ethical fashion brands perhaps should try and do? Because a lot of the brands that I have spoken to, we are actually using the already converted ethical fashion consumer. They're already interested, they have their convictions, they're doing their research, and they're coming to find brands that are ethical. But what about the mass, who actually are younger and who are, wanting perhaps to follow fashion, but is there a responsibility there of ethical fashion brands?
Yeah, I think we definitely have a responsibility to do that because they are the future, obviously, and what industry wouldn't like to have the younger with them? You know, it's the one that are going to carry your brand for years to come.
Yeah,
and. But I think the whole industry needs to look at pricing, affordability.
Yeah.
And I'm going to include shops, but I'm going to include manufacturers too, because it's also kind of pricey to manufacture a sustainable piece of clothing, which makes the final price way over the standard one for regular fashion, let's call it. So young people, their income is not that big, you know. These are people that are starting their jobs and they don't have big salaries, so you need to make it easy for them. It's again about helping the consumer. It's about, we want them, but we've got to do something about that. It's not only tell them you've got to do this because this is what's right. You know, you've got to help them. Come here, come over to the other side.
You have to meet a need. So we're also, I think I might have mentioned, with doing these interviews, we're creating a marketing campaign.
Yes.
So we want to use these data to see how we can create a campaign that can communicate to the mass consumer. And we want to get maybe 100 brands on board and really tell the story multiple times, you know, on multiple platforms, but in a unified, united manner. I mean, is that something that you think might be beneficial for your brand to be part of this collaboration?
Yeah, I could see how.
Because it is really, I think, what I'm coming to see is that a lot of small brands have their own little areas that they're working with, but sometimes, you know, the people who might find that brand might not really like that style, but actually they want to buy ethical. And even for myself, coming here to the ethical fashion show, I've seen so many brands that I've never heard of.
I know.
So they
Amazing
exist.
Brands.
They exist, and they are things that I would wear personally, and I would recommend and say these are really cool.
I definitely think that we have to behave as a community, because right now I had this conversation a few times during the show with other brands. It's like, there's no competitors here in this hall, in this building today. Our competitors are the big, you know, fast fashion brands. Those are the ones we are all competing together with. You know, we want to take their business. You know, we want to take their share of business. And we all have to work as a community. Myself, I blog in my social and my website, and I love to talk about other brands who do the same sort of thing. I call them waste wearers. And today I was talking about amazing brands that I saw here, like Globe Hope and Insecta shoes and Thinking Moo. They work with milk fibers and banana peels. How amazing is that? I think we all need to support each other, and only that way I think we are going to create that awareness. Because like you said, if I talk about bikinis to somebody, I don't know, maybe in northern Russia who's not interested in a bikini at all, and she sees me, she's not going to see anybody else, so she's not interested in that anymore. But if she comes to a platform with maybe not the bikini, but this jacket looks nice, you know? I think that's the way to go.
And when you sell your product, I mean, you have your own online shop, and other sort of outlets sell your product, but do you have a platform, like an ethical platform that you sell from? You know, have you heard of things like fashion
marketplace?
Yeah, like fashion conscious fashion.
Yes,
fashion conscious. And
I don't work with any marketplace right now. I basically do my online store and then the retail stores. I've been contacted by some. There are a couple of them who offer to feature me, but it's not so much a marketplace, but just like a guide, like a website, online guide to find your stores, but they link to my site. But I'm not working with any marketplace.
So you're actually a PR person.
Yes,
in another job.
That's my life.
Your life. So and you said that you're working as a PR person for adventure holidays.
Action sports brands.
Action sports.
So it's mostly apparel and accessories for action sports and outdoors.
So your brand, would that actually work in that community as well? Would that sell in that community?
It can, yes, it can be my bikinis. I do because I do like sports too in the ocean. So when I do my bikinis, I design them thinking that I want to swim, paddle, surf with them.
Yeah.
And so I've got some love from surfing media, and you know that have tried them on and they're liking it. But I don't want to be a niche sports. It's not thought like that. It's thought about for any woman who enjoys the beach, whether it is for lying in the sun or for going for a swim or whatever. It's just for a person who likes to spend hours hanging by the ocean, whatever she's doing.
But I guess you could have an impact in that industry as well with your brand, you know, and move that
towards sustainable.
Yeah, towards sustainable.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
So if bikinis are not appropriate, but the fabric might be. You know. So the idea is that something that you're thinking?
They are. I do talk to, of course, because I talk to them all the time and I work with them. I show them my bikinis and I actually like them a lot, and they try them and they take them on surf trips to test.
So you've done that.
So I'm doing that. And I see the awareness is coming more into the action sports and the outdoor sports. And now there are brands that are doing amazing things. We've mentioned Patagonia, and Vaude. They are using a lot of recycled things and really repurposing everything. Collecting old jackets to give you discounts and new ones so they can repurpose the old ones. They're doing fantastic things and investing in technology. Not many, but some of them are doing it, and because they are big ones, I think the others are looking. So I think now it's starting to happen. Outdoor brands have realized, guys, we do have a duty towards nature, don't we? We play nature all the time. I think we have to take a little bit of care for that.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
I really enjoyed that. That was quite a long interview. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't mind. I can talk forever. I'm used to it. I'm trained.
Thank you.